Hello again, welcome back to another Doctrzombie live stream. Of course, you're not seeing anything, and I'm fully aware of that. Let me go ahead and figure out where the fuckity fuck my... Where's my streaming thing? Shit. Must be better at the internet. Hold on. I'll find it eventually. God damn it. There it is. Yes, good. Hello! Welcome back. Hello, everybody. As you know, tonight is one of my every other Wednesday nights when I play role-playing games with my friends via Discord, and I am going to jump into voice chat with them momentarily and start playing game. I think I forgot to change the name of the game on Twitch. That might be my bad. Let me quickly zip over to my Twitch and fix that. Obviously, this game doesn't have a real name, but it is based on... Stop it! It's based on... goddamn. The terrible job I'm doing here, trying to get to my account settings. Based on Space 1889, a role-playing game system. Here we go. This is where I need to be. Don't worry about my ad manager. Edit stream info. There we go. Space 1889. That's the closest I can get to accurate. All right, I've updated Twitch at least. YouTube will still be wrong. So, rip in peace, YouTube. Hi, Dirty D. Welcome. All right, now we rejoin my friends who probably think that I forgot that I'm muted. Hello, everybody. I just got done with my very long explanation of what I was doing again while I tried to figure out my technical shit. Hi.
Dealing with children. That's what you're always doing.
I mean, yes, but actually this time I was dealing with my own ineptitude and lack of skill as a streamer.
Well, while you were introducing this to your streamers, we were remarking about how red your forehead looks, like you've been outside a lot without sun.
Weird. I was telling you that it's 102 today, and that I've been swimming exclusively. Yeah, Becky looks worse. She managed to sneak out of the house for over 3 hours yesterday and float around the pool with no children. So she just floated around the pool with no children, and I managed to jump in and out based on when I was working or not working or whatever. I'd get called into work, I'd leave, I'd be able to come back. She looks like a raccoon. Like, she had sunglasses on, and so it's just like black, white, black. I said she looks like she's doing some like inappropriate videos on like for like QAnon or something. Like she looks like she's got like tan face. Like it's bad. She's
Raccoon eyes.
My mother burst into flames the first time we had her outside in her swimsuit. Like her feet turned red. Like that's how sunburned she got. But I've done fairly well comparatively. My kids are just the color of burnt toast. My wife is the color of Jim's background there on Discord. She's like chocolate. So yeah. So yes, I've gotten some sun. Still vitamin D deficient.
As long as it's not banging your head against the wall repeatedly.
No, it's that comes when the children are inside all the time. All right.
Work to provide that part of the job.
Work is easy, man. Sometimes I can't believe I get paid to do this shit. But the wife and I had a conversation today over whether or not it makes more financial sense to simply not have health insurance. Like the monthly cost of health insurance is like, even if you do have a major crisis where it's like, oh, you have to have open heart surgery, you might still break even if you did it all by yourself. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking terrible. And
but that's only if you save the money.
Facts.
Your money would, in order for that to work, you basically still have to short yourself all that money you're putting into the insurance.
Yeah. And then if you don't use it, you get that money and you could, but it's
Yeah, no, because the problem is it'll take you years to build up just to handle one minor thing. Like colonoscopy around here in Rochester runs $3,000, $4,000 out of pocket.
so that's like 5 months of my insurance, which Stan doesn't cover shit. Like I pay out of pocket for most of my pills. Like Raymond's pills, we use GoodRx because it's cheaper than using my insurance. So. What's the fucking point?
What you need is better insurance.
What I need is, if I need a colonoscopy, I book a week in Mexico and get it done there at like a quarter of the price, and then the rest of the time I lounge on a beach. Same price. Fuck America.
Was it Spain where it's like, okay, you fly, you need to hit plates, you get flown to Spain, break, get it fixed.
Yeah.
Break it again, get it refixed, and fly back. You still only spend half as much money.
You still only spend half the money, yeah.
And as soon as you said fuck America, the only thing I can think of was, hey, shouldn't you be in Pennsylvania before you said something like that?
Where Dr. Oz is running for a seat, like, the fuck? The snake oil salesman? Really? That's who we want running the country?
Not in my state.
Fuck America.
What are you in North Carolina or South Carolina?
Recovering Republican. I'm in North, yeah.
So not the insane asylum.
But they're almost the insane asylum.
I mean,
North Carolina's got its issues too.
we have some issues as well. I mean, nobody's Florida, where the military is going to teach your kindergartner. What planet do we live on?
No one does.
Where they're like, well, we drove out all our teachers by saying they couldn't say the G word. So, guess we'll fly in the fucking army. The National Guard will teach your kids math. The fuck they will. Shit. I'll take my chances with the fucking alligators. God damn.
Well, at least Kansas showed some sense yesterday.
Oh, what did Kansas do? Anyway.
Kansas doesn't show sense. What are you talking about?
They voted down the strip abortion out of their constitution.
Well, that was good of them. Anytime you put a mandate in front of the actual voting public, it tends to go better than the people who we put in the actual fucking office. It's just simple math goes, like, oh, 80% of people think this is a terrible idea, then it's not happening. All right, I'm sorry I immediately went political. I'm like, hey guys, how about them politicans?
You bastard.
Yes, filthy.
You offended the 3 literate people from Alabama who might watch your stream.
The only person watching right now is from the UK.
He's probably laughing at that.
UK has any legs to stand on at the moment.
He's Scottish.
He's not thrilled over there either. Yeah. What's up, Tom?
I mean, but still, if someone's going to make fun of America, absolutely.
It could at least be America's older brother. Ah, Christ. And we're back. Hi, everybody. So, last time, we had a very eventful session in which you guys did everything you possibly could to avoid setting foot on the station. And then when I said something went wrong down on the molten lava planet below, everybody hopped in a pod and said, woohoo, road trip.
That's because Tom gets bored by listening to all the risk management that's going on.
So we just fuck it.
Ron's
Half the time, Ron and Stan found a couple of actuarials looking at tables.
Ron's actual character build is risk management. So nobody is saying, oh, Ron's not doing the right thing. He's just like, no, this is character and what he designed.
Ron is doing exactly what Ron was
Built to do.
Ouch. Character. Ron's character.
Oh, God.
There was some love from last week. Lovely. Acid geyser.
To be fair, it almost did kill your engineer because this game is like you get hit 3 times and you're dead. So,
Right, Jim fails, dies.
is it dead or is it knocked unconscious? Like, what is the...
You as the GM can decide what the situation is. So I mean, if like someone is punching him, you just go unconscious. If someone is trying to rip his face off, they rip his face off.
Gotcha. Because it seems to me like if one bad roll resulted in me doing 3 points of damage to somebody, that shouldn't end their character.
Well, also keep in mind that it's like, all right, the health that you have. So while you are positive, you are basically still able to operate fine. Once you go to like, I think it's like 0 to -5, you're really, really hindered, and you don't want to do much of anything.
Gotcha.
And I mean, it's not like 0 and you're dead.
Okay, that's what I was asking. I was like, is it 0 and you're dead, or is it like 0 and you go unconscious?
I thought it was at 0 you basically stop taking offensive actions. Basically,
You're basically like out. You're sort of incapacitated, but you're not dead.
Okay.
Stunned to hell and back by that point as well.
Gotcha. Okay, so Arthur was never close to death, but now that he's back on the space station, it's like I need a hospital.
Yes, I only have 1 hit point left.
Yeah, your collarbone is broken.
Let me get my kit.
Yeah, and of course, after you get into the shuttle, you have to strap in, and the whole while Arthur's going, "Ah, God, it hurts," because he's got the seatbelt over his broken collarbone.
That's what morphine's for.
It's just jabbing with the morphine. So Arthur doesn't say anything because he's currently unconscious.
Actually, I suspect people would very late and babbling.
Babbling. Who puts a lava worm on an uninhabited planet? Fucking bullshit.
My name's Phil, that's who.
And just to let you know, Phil, what you're looking for on the PDF is page 130 on the PDF. Basically, if they take non-lethal damage and to reduce the health to 0, you fall unconscious. If you take lethal damage to 0, you fall unconscious and you begin dying. If you hit -5, you are dead.
We have an actual map.
What's bizarre is I don't have the PDF in this folder.
We need to send it to you again?
I have it somewhere. I just didn't put it in this folder, which shows you how often I reference the rules during this game.
It's a very rule easy game.
It is a bit loosey-goosey, which is fucking perfect, honestly, because
I like Loosey Goosey.
I barely had the time to prepare today's adventure, let alone fucking read a book.
Yeah. There's a couple of games I have that are in a similar, state of complexity where it's like, okay, whatever.
I have it over here. I just have it in a different folder. I'm going to copy it to this folder so I can find it quicker.
If you're the big GM, you could do whatever you want to do. After all, you're GM.
Yeah. Nobody else wanted to do it, so now you're stuck with whatever bullshit I rolled together.
That's right.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I appreciate this every single time that you're running this game and I don't have to.
Good. Be grateful.
Because, I mean, if I had to deal with Ron and Stan, I'd have aliens dropping out of the damn ceiling on them.
You're arguing about it, and something heavy falls on you.
You guys know I can just hit the log off.
Oh God! I'm all honesty, it's just as funny to listen to that for 30 minutes. It was an awesome stream last week, so or last time, and then it all did okay, and only fell apart a little bit. So okay.
What do you need me to roll to fix Jim?
A medicine.
And,
Regardless of your role, he will require rest, but it's more of how much hospital rest is he going to need versus like.
All right. Well, my just take results is 4.
Okay.
Is that Should I roll it or just go with the 4?
You know what? I would prefer to roll it for thematic reasons.
Okay.
Ooh, thematic reason. Dun dun dun.
Yes, I'm looking at tomato plants, not die rolls, so
Yep.
I had to make sure I was in the right chat.
Yep, it's the right chat. That's my backyard. I mentioned last week I would put some pictures up.
5.
There you go, better than 4. So a 4 would have been an average. You feel like you've got this under control. You put him in an upper body cast. You apply ointments to all of his chemical burns. You give him the correct dosage of painkillers. And with about a week of physical therapy, he'll be back in mostly action. Just trying to get that bone reset. Okay.
I have 1 beer credit thing I'd like to declare during that week.
Absolutely.
All right. I'd like to use my bureaucracy filings to use some drones, and I would like to file a new report for the Pyrus Lambercana Arthurus.
Gotcha. Yep.
Gesundheit.
Fire Earthworm Arthur. There we go. I'm naming the thing we found after Jim.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
Okay.
You file away. I'm gonna write that down. Fuck this shit. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me open the previous session. Instead of calling it the giant magma worm, what was your name for this thing?
Pyrus
Pyrus.
Lambercana. Lumber.
In the chat window, Ron.
Oh, fine.
I was fine reading. He could dictate it. Everyone at home needs to know. He's putting it in chat now.
Yes, I am. Click. And it actually chose the cell, the content of the cell. Lovely. Yeah, my horribly slaughtered Latin.
It would have been quicker for him to read it.
Where is it?
Did it appear in general chat? Yes.
No?
No.
The garden?
You must have pasted it to a different Discord channel?
You got pictures of the garden.
I don't see it.
I don't either.
Okay, one moment.
Yeah, I don't see it either, Ron.
Sorry, Ron.
Alright. Again. Let go.
There it is.
There, yeah.
I think perhaps you did not hit enter previously. Okay, there we go. Oh, for fuck's sake, hold on. There we go. Alright. All that to name a worm that you probably won't ever fight again. We're good. Okay. Save.
He got hurt. He was the guy who hit it and discovered it wasn't a rock, so
Yep.
his discovery, might as well credit him with it.
He definitely was the first one to notice that it was, in fact, a giant space worm. Okay. Pyrus Lambercana Arthurus is now a thing. You filed your papers. You get, 37 emails an hour from Jessica back in Wolf Station about all of the different things this could mean, since this is the second non-cellular life form, or single-cell life form, discovered outside of planet Earth. Well, third, actually. Sorry, I forgot about the Wrath.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, it does also still fall in the hostile and hungry category.
Exactly. So they're not the favorite. 2 life forms appear to be predators. That's awful. 2/3 of space is deadly to humans. Get the fuck out of there.
Only 2/3? That's a radical improvement.
It was half before.
More like 99%.
Okay.
So yeah, random bureaucracy.
All right, you do your random bureaucracy, you file it, you get, the equivalent of a pat on the back, but then, MTI gets a Pulitzer Prize for their new discovery that you found. Because that's how it works. And frankly, that's how Divad would probably prefer that it worked. He doesn't want his own recognition for discovering anything, or even Arthur.
It's not mine, it goes to Arthur.
It goes to Arthur, but technically it goes to MTI because Arthur is MTI's property.
My ain't buying my dad out. What can I say?
Another few weeks after the first delivery of Ellerite, the station has several powered rooms. The Arboretum is bearing fruit, and the crew quarters and flight control rooms are powered and supplied with Feldar atmosphere. Refined Ellerite 162 has been flowing through the Feldar systems, and a second rocket is expected to arrive from the surface soon, which will provide enough of the mysterious energy source for Grebe and Samael, once you get back to Wolf Station, to build a homing beacon capable of contacting the remaining Feldar hidden throughout the galaxy. Devad is providing daily updates back to Wolf Station. Things are progressing as expected.
Boring.
Every day.
For you, I'm working.
Every day it's a very exciting email titled, "It's still going according to progress, expected to be done in 3 weeks. This is Devad."
Nothing has currently ruined the plan. Yet.
Stan's bouncing in and out. I think he's having some network troubles.
I think he's leaving the living room.
Oh, that could be too.
Hello?
You're there. Are you losing connection or what? What's going on there?
I have no idea what the hell just happened. Because I could still hit website. I just lost this.
Gotcha.
My camera's stuck.
I see that it... There you go. You're good. Huzzah. It wouldn't be a Doctrzombie live stream without technical problems. Arthur, of course, has been experiencing some physical therapy in the hospital for the first week. Reconstruction of his shoulder has taken some time. But after that, he does focus his repairs on other sections of the space station, just trying to get things in mostly working order. There's even now a functioning airlock so that the Nero can dock at one of the cargo bays, walk out into it, set up your spacesuits, and then switch from Earth atmosphere to Feldar atmosphere. Obviously, anytime you're in Feldar atmosphere, you need to be wearing your suits, because it is not compatible with human anatomy. It slows down reconstruction, but Grebe is far more agreeable than he has been the last few weeks, now that he's able to eat something that is both nutritious and, filled with those brain parasites that he loves so much. Brain parasites. The part of every Feldar's daily breakfast.
Well, yeah.
And lunch and dinner.
And snack.
So he's no longer hangry?
No. And after a few weeks, once the station is progressing as normal, he no longer looks as thin and gaunt as he used to. He seems to be regaining some of his muscle mass and body weight, and is almost always carrying around a basket of fruit from one room to another with a big smile on his face. And of course, he offers to give you fruit as well.
Of course.
My human friends, no longer must you live on reconstituted sawdust burgers. You may have actual fruit from trees. With all of the delicious Feldar nutrients that you crave. As opposed to all of the electrolytes that plants crave, which is what is in your food. I don't... so you ask that to Grebe, and he's like, you can't patent a tree. It's a being. It's a lie. Can one patent the Feldar?
I don't know. Have we built one yet?
My brain has retrieved memories that indicate you do, in fact, patent people. This is a terrifying development. I believe I need to speak to Samael immediately. Before he signs anything inappropriate. Oh, shit. Grebe is terrified more about the fact that you could potentially patent and limit access to the fruit than his own species. You can't do that. I don't want to pay money for the thing that we grow. It grows out of the ground. How can you patent anything that comes from the earth?
By killing everything else it doesn't?
Oh, you stupid, stupid alien.
You trusted us.
We have weapons, you see, and that's how we can patent shit.
Well, hopefully he's a little more leery of us now.
Could you charge money for, like, basic health care? Imagine.
No, we charge for air.
We're back. Yes. What's the fucking brand in Spaceballs? Perrier. That's right. Yep.
No, the worst
And
one.
nowadays it's called Boost.
Boost.
The worst one I
You can
ever saw in
actually
a
get
science fiction
cans
story.
of like oxygen, or mostly oxygen. I saw it in the supermarket the other day.
It's in the actual market.
Yep. I saw it in Tops.
Out there.
I see, like, the protein drink. Hold on. I'm good.
It was like oxygen in a can.
I've seen it too, unfortunately. And the worst indication I saw of this type of thing was where they charged you for the oxygen you breathe, and then taxed you for the carbon dioxide you put back in the system that they had to scrub.
Is this is a healthcare thing?
No, it's a science fiction.
Science fiction thing? I believed it. 100% thought that was something that happened here in America when you said it right now. Fuck. Shit.
The first place that would show up on is places like Space Station or...
Is Grebe willing to learn how to use a weapon?
That's a good question. That'll probably actually come down to a role for him. That'll be a...
Saying that he's not linked to the Wrath, so...
Okay. Grebe agrees on a scientific principle that he is willing to learn to use a weapon. However, he is not willing to fire it at anything right now. He does not currently possess the willpower to point it at a creature and will it to die.
Open space it is.
Is my child speaking loud enough to be heard on the microphone?
No.
I will end him. No, Grebe. So Grebe is like, yes, I can learn how to shoot a firearm. He stares at Mark for a couple minutes, and then grabs a rifle and just like, ping, 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 like clear shots a bunch of like targets. I understand the purpose.
Hopefully less panic.
Well, can we give him something that would only stun?
Taser.
I don't know if you guys currently have a device that would zap.
I do, but it's melee only.
Okay. Devad has one. You would have to probably rig up something that would, say, 10-foot or 20-foot electrical discharge or something. And that'll take some time.
We need a taser from station security, but we don't happen to have it.
I already Googled it.
Station security has a taser.
Yeah, station security on Wolf does, definitely.
No, because they were, when they were trying to put down the food riots, they just went straight to deadly force and clubs.
Yeah, but the president of the station, or the commander of the station, did threaten to shoot the aliens, then tase them, then arrest them.
Yes.
So it is possible.
They technically exist.
They probably cost more money to charge than it does to just clump somebody with a baton.
What is the state of 3D printing?
I will, as much as he's willing to do it, I will help Grebe learn how to fire a weapon.
Okay. Actually, the first time he tries it, he probably has like severe problems with the recoil, because he doesn't fully understand how much power goes through it. So he shoots, hits the target in the bullseye, and then immediately like loses control of the weapon. But he'll spend some time.
Now I can hear you good.
Don't have children. He'll spend some time learning to do that. But most of his time is spent rebuilding the station and making sure the fruit is being correctly grown and harvested. You can go to bed early, children. Just FYI. Fuck. goddamn summertime bullshit. In other news, other things that are happening.
How is MTI stock prices doing now that we've actually succeeded at something?
It's a new era of bull market. The stock, not just MTI stock, but stocks in general, are growing up at leap and bounds, except for people who directly compete with MTI products. Their stocks are like either leveling out or dropping in some cases. But you know, everyone's pretty excited about, well, everything. I need a role from a specific person. Let me go ahead and find out what that role is going to be and what is the best. Give me a second here. This is a secret thing.
What are you wowing about, Jim?
Your link.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, dystopian future is coming.
We charge you for oxygen.
Actually, I don't think it needs to be a secret person. Peter Langdon, I need you to make a investigation roll.
I have investigation here, but that's going to be mostly playing with the computer system to see if I can figure out how to make it work. No.
Wow.
I only have 4 dice in it. What do you want?
Okay.
Would anyone else like to try?
Definitely no one else wants to try.
Well, that's not ominous at all.
Oh, we're all doomed.
Doom, 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 doom.
Doom, 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 doom.
Get it?
You know, Tom fails ominous roll.
Is that what you're writing down?
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, that's how you read it until you Depends how well
Fair enough.
just like the joyous explanation that we have power is. As long as we go, the shorter previous articles get reduced down to.
Okay.
Aha, a private massage.
With or without happy ending.
It's not that type of game.
Probably that.
I need to go read Sean. I'll be right back.
Fucking gravity.
It's a real downer.
Yeah, just, wow.
Yeah, it holds the man down.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Really brings you back to earth.
Oh my god. Somebody stop these people.
You all take damage.
We all take damage. Alright. Last time, so last time I think I thought it was pi squared, not gravity. Right?
Correct. Yeah. It was close to gravity, just by coincidence perhaps, but in fact it is pi times pi.
Pi squared. Okay.
It's a fun one. It's also in magic circles, but
Alright.
I got the reference from. But
I will bring this to the attention of the entire crew, including Mark and Green.
Okay.
This what?
Grebes.
I'm receiving a signal.
Are you including the last part of that information about the coordinates?
Yes.
Okay. You include the coordinates of the six. So, okay. So, do you want to describe to them, or do you want me to relay that information?
Go ahead.
Okay. So Peter is getting a signal. It is a data transmission that he cannot decrypt. But The data transmission is a file name that is a numerical value. That number is 9.8696000. So 9.8696044. And it happens to be pi squared, a number that Peter has seen before. But he doesn't know why he's seen it, and I don't think he's told you much about it.
Nope.
But he does say this is pi squared, or close to it. But it also comes with coordinates, and those coordinates from where the transmission is originating do not correspond to any known star system, outpost, ship, etc. But it is using a human wave pattern, something that would typically only be used by Earthlings.
Weird. Let's go explore. Come on, let's do it.
It's fucking. It's V'ger all over again.
Grebe doesn't seem to care too much about this information. Obviously, the rest of you are like, that's fucking weird. But Grebe is like, I do not have any knowledge of those coordinates. This is not a Feldar thing.
Grebe, when you set up the beacon, were you going to set it up at Wolf Station or here?
We were going to set it up at Wolf Station or Earth, so that the Feldar could come somewhere that we believe to be safe.
Okay. Approximately how long do I think it would take for us to get there and back? If I took a Feldar ship that was actually capable of hyperdrive?
If you wanted to enter subspace using a Feldar subspace drive, scan the area where this location is, and then return, two things could happen. One, it would probably take you a minimum of 10 minutes. Two, we do have concerns that the subspace drive caused the Nero's systems to overload last time we used it, and we have not fixed that problem. Three, the Wrath might listen.
You're right. Okay.
Which is fine if all of us are on board the Nero and we warp out of this location, because no one will be left to eat. They would probably leave.
They would probably.
So,
All right.
yes, but after we're done playing with the spaceship.
Yeah, we have to get the station up and running and so on and so forth. How long would it take for us to get there?
You're only about 2 days away from getting the last of the Illyrium 162 loaded into the Nero's cargo bays, which is all you want. It'll be enough to start building certain Feldar components that could allow MTI to build additional Feldar spaceship components, as well as allow Grebe and Samael to activate a beacon, construct and activate a beacon. It's more than enough. The Ellerite is difficult to refine and difficult to find, but once you have some of it, it lasts a long time.
Gotcha.
What about the trees and botany section here in the station?
So I'll answer Stan first. The Arboretum has provided enough fruit for Samael to eat, but you know that back in Wolf Station, they are rapidly reproducing fruit there as well.
I didn't know if we could actually hack up and move some of the trees.
We might be able to section off a small portion of the Nero.
I was considering turning over one of the cargo holds and just making it into a
Grebe sounds very excited by this idea.
terrible idea. Which is
It's wonderful. I'm glad you thought of it, Devad, because then I don't have to suggest it. We could spread the fruit everywhere we go. We would have our own personal arboretum filled with living fruit trees. Imagine how wonderful your species would find it to constantly be provided with an endless source of the fruit.
entertainment. We already do that.
I'm a bit surprised that you, of all people, Devad, would be so willing to champion our efforts to spread the fruit throughout the galaxy. But since you brought it up, I vote yes.
Making you money and keeping you alive, honestly.
Yes, you may make money and keep me alive. I vote yes.
It shouldn't be too hard to set up a cargo area to
Real hard sell
with
there, I
pro
suppose.
lamps.
That sounds like 3. The motion passes. We will turn Cargo Bay 5 into an arboretum. Glory be to the fruit most high. Immediately, 10 minutes later, Grebe is bringing baskets filled with soil from the arboretum and just dumping them on the floor in the Cargo Bay 5.
Great. We need to build
I'm okay with that.
planters.
Yes, I will bring the soil. You can bring the rest. I will set up atmospheric conditions.
Does he make that noise when he does it?
He giggles. He.
He is the happiest I've seen this music.
Yes, it's almost as happy as when he found out that you could shoot wrath and they would explode.
So, I did have one other question.
Yes.
The file that,
Alrighty, so we...
Hold on, wait a second. Tom, are you not able to hear Stan?
I cannot hear Stan.
That is why Tom constantly interrupts Stan.
Sorry, Stan.
Maybe if Tom reconnects, maybe, or if Stan reconnects, I'm not sure. Or both.
Be right back.
Okay, you're both gonna do it. It's fine. Yeah, I was like, there's no way that Tom is doing that on purpose.
Oh, they're gone.
I tried not to do that on purpose.
Yeah, that's why I figured that perhaps.
I get that Tom doesn't like me.
Awesome, you cook for me. How awesome is that?
Okay, now. Well, obviously, because he responded. Did you hear him respond?
Yes, I heard Tom respond.
Okay, we lost Tom's camera.
I can now hear you. Alright, hold on.
Okay,
Not take Arboretum. Hold on.
can anyone not hear me?
I can hear you.
Hey Dad, can we send it to an airport?
I'm going to murder them. All right, can everyone hear?
Provide an alibi.
Can everyone hear Ron?
Yes.
Yes.
Everyone hear Jim?
Yep.
I think we're good. Technical problems resolved.
We can hear your kids too.
I will crush their tiny heads.
You know, if you live stream it, you might get some extra tips.
the beatings. Come here, children. They'll be going to bed in like 8 minutes. Okay.
So, I did have one question on the file that Peter received.
Yes.
Peter said you said you couldn't. It was encrypted and you couldn't open the file.
Can I get a crack at that?
David,
Devad.
is our computer expert. So we should let him have a chance at it. Unless the GM would just wants to fiat saying.
No, that is completely acceptable.
Because I wanted actually to have a hack at the actual. While we were having to lose time here, we were spending around waiting for healing center. I wanted to take a hack at the station's computer system and see if I could get any data off of it.
Okay.
So that was getting moved in.
So Grebe is happy to provide you with all the access codes that you would need to the Feldar station. He's like, it has to be one of these 1 billion access codes that we have memorized from our species. And with a few moments, they find one that works for this station. What are you looking for?
Well, obviously financial information, so things we can use.
They do not have finances.
I know. Things that are sellable. Information. Last known ship leaving coordinates would be a wonderful thing. Basically,
Okay.
When the Wrath arrived, people booked from this place.
Right. So what you have is you have a basically the last available log files for the station. Automated stuff is, enemy detected, Wrath incoming, eject all space pods to these locations. And there are 4 different star systems that are adjacent to Lalande, basically adjacent, that at least one pod was designated to launch to. You do not know if they launched to those locations because before all the pods were launched, the system went down. But you can say, okay, these are 4-star systems that maybe the pods went to. This information is 17 years old.
Correct.
And that is the last time the station was active.
It also tells me the last time the station was active.
Yes. Grebe can identify at least 2 of those star systems were definitely invaded by the Wrath during his lifetime. That he's like, I know these were destroyed. I do not know about these other 2.
How old is
Why would you go back there if you knew it was destroyed?
Grebe will spend like a lot of time doing math in his head because age is different when you are not using Earth cycles. But he says, I have probably lived 150 Earth cycles.
Cool.
My species used to live a lot longer, but our lifespans are limited these days.
Yeah, there's a limiter on your life expectancy.
Yeah.
Actuary tables are.
Our leading cause of death is being eaten. It is sad.
Look. I hope to someday make that human greed.
Previous leading cause of death was failure to thrive at old age. Current leading cause of death is mutilation and devouration.
You sound so happy.
Yeah, I don't believe devouration is an actual term.
It is term in the future.
Devouration is.
We will devourify. All the English majors have unsubbed. Yes. Being consumed alive is leading cause of death. Very sad. Grebe is like scratching his like space dome around his head, and he goes, "Is the new plan not to return to Wolf, but to investigate the source of this human signal?"
Yeah, probably.
This can be a quick diversion, and unless there are living humans or Feldar at the location we arrive, then we can safely leave again, and the Wrath will be brought to an empty area.
In theory.
This is acceptable to me. I vote it is okay.
Wow, vote. Now there's a nostalgic term.
No, I'm actually going with that. We have many elections.
Every day.
It doesn't mean anything. And they're mandatory. We have to show up and push the button.
As the creature who does not pilot the ship, I realize my vote is meaningless. I'm gonna take a minute. I'll be right back. I'm gonna murder this parrot. Hold on a second.
Do not murderfy.
Murderfy is bad.
Murderfy is bad.
Who knows his vote doesn't count.
Murderfy is bad.
No, the idea is to get a feeling for their computer system. How does it work? So I can get into one faster.
How good of a hacker are you there, Ron?
Hang on. Character skills.
Good point.
Craft electronics and computer science are 1 point behind my diplomacy, empathy, and investigation, which are my best skills. So it's my second best skill set.
So I don't have the computer science. I do it with the craft. So I can do physical hacks. Oh, you want the door open? Sure.
Really, you can cross the wires.
Bypass all this junk, and here you go.
I am a bureaucrat at heart, with a pile of people skills and then some more relevant computer skills to make my back up my people skills.
Yeah, she's running from everybody. She was hiding from me earlier.
I also have lots of ranks in Intimidate if I ever actually need them, and Con.
Like I said, I never put a whole lot of ranks in any one skill. So all of my skills, I put like one rank in it, just so I do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, the only thing I actually put the only thing I actually
I have pilot at 6, and I have con at where's my con? And I have con at 6. Or no,
My medicine is my best, and that's
Yeah.
only 4.
honestly I mostly only have 1s and 2s in my skills.
yeah, me too.
I only have one skill I put 4 into. Everything else is mostly based on my int and charisma. Is what make I have a 1 or a 2, and that gives it a 5 to a 7.
Yeah, I've got a lot of 3s, 4s, and 5s. I mean, just a lot of them. Because again,
Well, my
Well,
cra-
most of my
crap.
stats are not great. They're mostly 2s, so most of my skills are not great.
uh,
I put 5 point. I got 5 ranks in craft, and that's the biggest one. Everything else is 1s and 2s.
Yeah, my stats are definitely off-centered. God, my strength sucks.
well, considering that the base system was designed for Nazis, drill machines, and dinosaurs in the center of the Earth, no one's it's supposed to be really really pulpy. You're supposed to be Indiana Jones.
We're more like the Three Stooges or Five
Sort of.
Stooges.
I would say one, we're not Jewish, but after that, it fits. Yeah, that's my skill list. It's like 301031175637073333570333 -1100634
Jesus Christ, how many skills do you have?
No,
I didn't have enough. I didn't have enough points to do that.
No, that's my. Those are my final dice.
Oh,
Skills actually bought 2 ranks in bureaucracy, 2 ranks in con, 1 in craft electronics, 4 in diplomacy, 2 in empathy, 1 in firearms, 2 in intimidate, 2 in investigate, 1 science, computer science, 1 stealth, 1 streetwise. That's where I actually spent my points.
what was that, Jim? You kind of break.
Video playing.
Ah,
We're playing a game. Pay attention to it.
medicine is my best skill at 4 ranks.
What's your total number of dice?
8.
Nice, yeah. My most ranks was
I
diplomacy.
took mostly intelligence-based skills, and those all start with 4. But everything's 2 or 3s or the 1-4 in medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm mostly I'm a mixture of int and charisma skills.
I don't remember. What does it cost to do skill buying or increasing?
Typically, it's the number of levels that you currently have.
So if I have 4 and I want to go to 5, I have to spend 5.
Yeah, let me.
I know to raise a stat, it's 5 times the new number.
Right.
Yeah.
That doesn't it's great if you've got a lot of skills that use it to raise the stat, but
But let me take a quick look, because I mean everyone starts off with the same 15 points, but we all start off.
I speak 5 languages.
So all right. So for a skill, it's the new skill level times 2. So if you're buying your very first rank in it, 2 points.
So if I want to go medicine 4 to medicine 5, it's 10 points.
Yep.
I have 8 experience total to spend, so I ain't doing much of anything with it.
Fair enough.
I
If you
find.
want
Go ahead,
if you
Tom.
want a specialization is worth 3. So if you were like, really awesome at, surgery or first aid or whatever.
Yeah, I have medicine, science, chemistry, science, biology, academics, and linguistics are my intelligence skills.
Gotcha. While we have a break, are you free Friday?
No, I'm going to be booked until September at least.
Remember that?
So speaking of being booked,
Our internet has hiccuped a couple times today.
when are we going? When's the concert in August?
Interesting. No, the earlier. Ignore me, please. If I go on mute, I have to reset everything.
Okay.
Go blow her away.
I don't know what happened, but about I don't know 45 minutes ago, we lost internet briefly. And it's been happening. The router will be all the indicators are on, but the cable modem will have all the indicators on, but the router will say I can't see the internet. And then like a minute later, it was. It happened yesterday. It happened today. I think we're due for a reboot on both pieces of equipment. I just haven't done it yet. Oh, let me go board with Sean again.
Tom, are you available for Games Day this Saturday?
I am.
Okay.
I wasn't certain what to bring as far as games. I asked Stan if he would like a day killer, but I think the answer was no because he's going to be sort of in and out doing work stuff. So I was going to bring a lot of short stuff.
Not a problem.
I mean, if anybody has any specific flavor of games that they want, let me know.
Fortunately, no. You've seen most of my multiplayer ones. Most of my other games cap at 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I can bring back some of my idiot other games.
Well, now that I'm working on the library, I at some point I'm going to have to kind of go through and organize all of my games by number of players. And actually figure out how many 6-player games I got. So I don't have as many as 5.
I have returned.
I'm back as well.
I picked up a Humble Bundle, Tom, that included Wingspan on Steam. So now I have that. I haven't played it yet, but I've been playing a bunch. I've been playing a bunch of other games I picked up on Humble Bundle recently that were like pretty fucking decent. I played a game called Plebby Quest: The Crusades. It's like a light version of a conquest simulation game, empire building type game. And it's kind of cartoony, kind of silly, but also there's like a decent strategic element thrown in there. So I've been fucking around with it.
Because I noticed that on some of your streams you've been playing Codenames.
Yes.
That's not on Steam, is it?
No, it is a free web game. You could just type in Codenames into Google, and the first response is the web app. Yeah. Yep. So I've been playing that. Trying to get people together to play it, and it's like I can get 4 people. Fuck, it's okay, but like it'd be better with 6. But yeah, I don't have any internet friends anymore. I'm not as popular as I used to be. So.
Oh, so we don't count, huh?
Well, no.
It's the person part, Jim.
It's the part where it's like, oh, here are the people in my chat on a Monday at like 9 o'clock. Like, y'all are busy because you have real lives.
You have something, really? You have something to do on a Monday night in the chat.
Well, look, stop by. If you see me streaming and you want to play Codenames and I'm playing Codenames, you're more than welcome. Open invitation. All right.
Part of what I wanted poking part of why I wanted to poke their computer system was to get a feel for how they work, so I can try to get into one without Grieve if I ever need to. How's their data structure, architecture, how do they think, how do things work?
So because you refuse to eat the fruit, and because you are not approved by MTI to eat the fruit, therefore you definitely should not eat the fruit, it takes a long time for you to do this kind of thing without Greeb's help. Because not only do you have to understand their login system, you have to understand their language. And essentially, without Grieb saying, this word means password, this word is where you type it in, you should type in the following characters. Hark, Fargan, Negarsh, Wank. Like, you're just it's going to take a long time for you to get it.
So I'm gonna ask you if I can do something.
Sure.
Yes,
Eat a
I'll
fruit.
Go.
spend a point in linguistics. My number of languages will jump.
Yes, you can do that. If you want to spend time learning their language.
I'll probably be learning it from the computer science standpoint versus conversational.
Sure. Okay.
I'll yell at Samuel and prompt go to.
Okay. It's going to take a little bit of out-of-game time leveling up, essentially.
You've got Greek, not Samuel.
Yes.
Yes, but I'm.
Right. He was just making it up. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. You can spend time learning their language from basically from anyone who's been approved to eat the fruit. They could then teach it, explain it, etc. It is very different. It's not like learning Chinese when you know English. It's like learning binary when you know English. Like it's very confusing. But you can do it with time and points. So sure.
Out of curiosity, how many digits does Greek have?
He has 4-digit hands.
Their basic
Oh,
system.
is there math octal?
Yes. Actually, they found base 16 to be very useful.
Makes sense. It's a variation of octal.
Yep. And from there, it winds up being close enough that like their computer system does run on base 64. So, but that is about the extent of the similarities. Okay, turning your attention from the information you get from Greeb's system, which he'll be happy to give you any information you want that the computer knows from 17 years ago, to the file that has been transmitted specifically to Peter's console. Your navigation system didn't pick it up, your computer didn't pick it up, the flight computer picked it up. Which is super bizarre.
Oh, it's not.
It's totally bizarre. This has never happened. It's like it bypassed the system's sensors.
Come on now. I remember this old-timey movie where it happened. Everything went so well in there when the secret message went to the medical officer? I think it was medical officer.
It's, yeah. I have to do an aside about what I did to my players in D&D, by the way, but we'll continue for this for a bit. Until the next time. It's a great. So, make a computer programming check. Is that what Devad has? That would be most...
I have a craft electronics and I have science comp sci. So, yeah.
Science comp sci, yeah. You're working with file names and encryption data and shit right now.
Yeah, I'm also looking for anything that resembles what you brought up. Anything in here that's anything that's got a file name that's a square of stuff. Only 2. I will burn a style point to make that 3 and hold it to average.
Okay. At 3, you are still unable to encrypt this file. It is very encrypted. Yeah, and you're like, this is good encryption. Like, this is not standard MTI level 1 encryption.
This is approaching corporate specialization in military.
Yeah. About the only thing you can pull is, because you're curious as to why it wound up in Peter's computer is not yours, is that it appears to be targeting specifically flight consoles. Like it's designed to appear as background noise to human MTI and other scanners and computer systems, but it's targeted directly to flight consoles, which makes you immediately worry that it might be some kind of virus. But it doesn't.
Was it sent to how many flight controls? Does it appear to be sent just to ours, or is it just like a general broadcast?
You would not be able to tell without asking anyone outside of here if they got it, and that might be tipping your hand.
Yep.
But you think, oh, well, maybe it's a virus because it's so specifically targeted, but it's not acting like a virus in that it doesn't want to be opened. It's quite the opposite.
Curse my shitty rolls.
Well, you got more information than Peter did.
Hey, really?
Hey, he's just a pilot who keeps us alive. What the?
What good is he? And I intentionally fly the entire ship into an asteroid. Ending the campaign with a gigantic fuck you divide.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet. Let's keep our options open.
Yes. Also, let's keep my options open. So, all right. Anything anyone else wants to do or try before completing the transfer of the remaining fuel and Arboretum to the Nero?
Yes, I'm gonna attempt to look at why we had issues with the subspace drive on the Nero during our down.
Excellent idea. I love this plan. I'm happy to be part of it. Let's make a mechanical roll. Electronics would be better, but I think it's covered.
It's a craft roll for me.
Perfect. Go ahead, Stan.
As an aside, if I have time, I will try to seek out their medical wing and just see how they're try to pull data from their computers on Feldar medicine and anything I can get. And if I have to eat a fruit in order to get the information, I'll eat the fruit.
They are conspicuously placed all around the station with little love notes that say, "From Grebe, please eat as much fruit as you like. Really, they're not poisonous. Your company's lying to you. Eat some more fruit."
Maybe a
Kisses, Grebe.
and-
Smoochy emoji, Grebe. It does get easier when you eat one of the fruit. Because Grebe, you just walk into a room with Grebe and be like, "Hey, medical information." And you get everything you need, password related and everything, and you can go ahead and download files. And
I also want to see if there's any Feldar-specific medicines or other things like that that I can pull from their stores
okay.
to investigate to see if they have uses on human-type people.
Let's make a medicine check.
cell regeneration or faster healing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want the roll or should I just take the half?
Give me your half if you like.
Okay, it's 4.
Okay.
Half is 4.
So there are a number of things that were left here abandoned. Some of them did not survive the deep freeze of space over time. Others actually did quite well in it. But one thing that you're able to salvage that you think might have a use outside of specifically Feldar medicine is a tube of like blue gel that will provide a temporary hit point boost, essentially,
Okay.
breaking it down.
I'm basically going to collect what I can and take notes from the Feldar system on what each of the medicines do.
Mm-hmm.
Also pulling any actual, pharmacology information that I can, what it takes to make that type of thing.
Sure. Yeah, you are basically increasing humanity's knowledge of alien medicine. There's no percentage. You're founding the groundwork for it. And Grebe is like, ooh, I know what that is. It's a Band-Aid, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But the blue goo is something that he's like, oh, that's really useful shit. And he'll explain that it alters your cellular data in ways that make it, rapidly regenerating. But basically what it does is it provides you a temporary hit point bonus.
I'll find one potion with 10 hit points.
Yeah, it will, similar to D&D, temporary hit points you. If you're lacking actual hit points, it'll fill those up. If you are not, it'll give you a little more than your usual. That can be degraded first before your clavicle breaks. If that ever happens. So yes.
No one ever gets attacked by,
Yes. It doesn't even exist. It's a scam. Okay. Anything else?
There were a couple of Feldar ships on the station.
Yes, one of them is an escape pod, and one of them was the mining drone pod.
Okay.
You've used both at this point. The escape pod you used to travel to the surface and back. It's far more advanced than a simple escape pod. It is more like a, minimal accommodation shuttlecraft.
That's good. I have to the DM.
Yeah.
Does it fit in one of our cargo bays?
No. No. It is just too big. You could potentially program it to fly to Wolf. And then it would jettison, and after a certain amount of time, enter subspace, which of course would potentially draw the Wrath. But then it would wind up at Wolf Station, where your engineers could dissect it.
And this one they can pull apart without us carrying.
Mm-hmm. The mining drone lacks any subspace ability.
Why don't you send part of our ore with this shuttle here? That way, if something weird happens to us, they'll still get ore back at Wolf.
That is an excellent idea.
Here's another question. Can we set the drone and the station to automatic, just continue mining and refining the material while we're not here?
The short answer is yes, but the long answer is it will only work once. Because when the ship returns from the planet, there is a manual unload component where somebody has to go in.
The actual system isn't fully automated.
Right. A Feldar or human is required to empty the container, place it in a safe place on the station, or further refine it or use it or whatever. But I mean, at the very least, it does take like 2 weeks for the drone to go down, and that's 2 weeks of saved time if you have to come back and get more.
How long would it take the Nero to get to those coordinates from here?
Using subspace, 5 minutes. Using like regular space, it would be years. Yeah, because Grebe said you could travel there in 5 minutes, run your scans, travel back, and take another 5 minutes. You'd arrive, 15 minutes or whatever.
I'm kind of thinking we leave Grebe here to. I mean, he's got food, he's got atmosphere, he's got everything.
No, Grebe does not want to be here when a Feldar ship leaves the station.
Yeah, we see is when we warp away, the Wrath may appear here.
Okay. But we would have to take everybody with us if we were going to go to the coordinates. Got it.
Yeah.
Just as a reminder to myself, the Wrath only show up when someone leaves, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So when we leave, we want this station looking as dead as possible so that all our repairs don't go to waste and they don't just invade the station and start mashing it up again.
Right. They power her down first, and then they're back.
Yeah.
Turn all the lights off.
I do like the idea of sending the drone down to the planet to go mine, because the 2 weeks it takes it to mine and come back, the Wrath will have come and gone.
The problem is if the station's powered down, would the drone be able to get in?
We leave the door open.
Okay. Makes sense.
I do like the idea of sending some supplies back with the shuttle pod, sending the shuttle off there. I mean, it does mean if one of the critters bugs with the planet, we've got to do some more fun work, and we have to ask for the shuttle back. But
Grebe points out two things that may have escaped you or may not. Number one, if we do send the shuttle back to Wolf, that's great, but we have to make sure that the Nero is ready to go at the same time, because he doesn't want to be here if the Wrath come looking.
Yeah.
Right. No, I agree 100%.
Two, if the mining shuttle is on the surface of the planet, there is a chance that the Wrath won't even look, because they did not go to the planet and kill all of the space worms, which Grebe finds interesting.
The space worms, weren't they silicone-based life forms as opposed to biology? So they may not show up on the Wrath's scans, as it were.
It's possible. And Grebe is more than happy to debate this, although it does terrify him. Every time we talk about the Wrath, he gets a little more uncomfortable. But he's like, yes, very interesting. They did not invade and devour the planet. Maybe they didn't know. Maybe they couldn't smell them. Maybe solution is to evolve into silicon-based life forms and live forever without the wrath. Joy. This will only take 7.7 billion millenniums.
Alrighty.
New plan.
We have to finish up our business here totally before we take off. Gotcha.
Agreed.
Now, do people agree to send the shuttle away?
Sure, as long as we time it so that it leaves the same time we leave.
Yeah.
So anything you want to send back early? You know, a couple of Feldar computers.
Yeah, I say we load that shuttle up as full as possible with the unobtainium and any other loose stuff from the station that Grief thinks would be useful. That way, if we get delayed, the activities at Wolf don't have to wait for us.
Yep. Also, a written report will probably get dropped on top of all of it.
Yeah, probably right before, because you don't want to tell Wolf Station that you're going off to explore some mysterious virus email that you got. Like, a Nigerian prince sent me an email. We're going to go check it out. But, yeah, you don't...
Knocking those Nigerian princes.
Like, they'll figure it out when a shuttlecraft shows up with a bunch of fucking stuff that you crammed in it, like a yard sale package.
We'll warn them the shuttlecraft's coming. Say, listen, we got a shuttlecraft here. We're going to program it to come back, so we have another ship there at Wolf.
We have been delayed and are limping the Nero back. We suffered damage during transit. We expect to be delayed in our return.
Devad will spend the entirety of the next hour explaining the damage and why, filing a bunch of bogus reports just to make sure that the brass doesn't ask questions.
Seriously, we lost Mr. Coffee.
Given the logs that are on the Nero, his reports aren't bogus.
That's true.
Don't know we fixed it all.
Yeah, you'll just have to leave. You'll have to admit certain things. Certainly, you can state that, hey, Arthur's still working on the hyperdrive.
Yes. Further revisions will be necessary to this report. Good day.
Yeah. However,
My previous email.
if you do send that out, they will warn you not to be present when you send the shuttle, because they are also aware that the wrath will probably come. Or at the very least, Samael will be like, excuse me.
Yes, we know.
Ike bin Minuto. Don't send shuttle.
I'm going to send scans of the biogel and a couple of other things that I found to Jessica.
Okay.
Is it Jessica?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ahead of us going back, but I'm going to keep all the physical materials with us,
Sure.
just in case we need them.
Yeah. Biotech is extremely busy this, month with all the amazing shit that you guys have found. Okay. Fast forward. You have loaded a bunch of Feldar components that are useful but not currently needed for the station. Enough Ellerite that Samael can begin construction on the beacon as planned. And the Nero still has the bulk of the stuff, because you can only fit so much in this tiny little space pod meant for 6 people. You send out the email right before sending the space pod. And you send the space pod right before sending the Nero. Now, did I get a roll from Arthur? I did. It was a 4 for repairing the hyperdrive. Okay. You think you've isolated what the issue was. It's just that the hyperdrive requires so much power that you thought the Nero's power grid would handle it, but it did not. And what you happened was a feedback effect.
So we need some fast.
However, you currently have access to Feldar power fuel. And with Greeb's assistance, you're able to rig up a sort of a small battery that when your engines cut out, the Feldar Ellerite will kick in and keep the hyperdrive from backloading the Nero. Greeb thinks it'll work, and so do you after working on it. But it does take you an extra day or two of Devad's, hey, shit's not working, we're going to be doing this. to actually get it to work. So not only is Devad correct that there are delays, but now he's got a great excuse. And so for why it's going to take 4 days when in fact it takes 2. Okay.
Well, if you follow Scotty's thing, you always
overestimate
how long. That way you can be seen as a miracle worker.
The next person who reads Devad's email says it's going to take 2 weeks. So immediately reads the 4 days and says to his boss, 2 weeks, sir. Who then goes to management and says, well, the project's a month behind schedule. 2 weeks for the Nero and 2 weeks to play Doom on my computer. All right.
Alice Bastards trade. I reminded of Xerox's IT department.
That one is...
Everything came in and went into basket 1. In the morning, everything in basket 1 went into basket 2. Everything in basket 2 went into basket 3. And basket 3 went into basket 4. Basket 4 is what you started working on today.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
So there was a 3. I would show up, but they'd have a problem. I would solve the problem and annoy them all, because then we could go to lunch. Like, that was their day's work. I'm like, I was here for 5 minutes.
Yeah. I worked myself out of a job at Xerox.
I unemployed a lot of people.
I looked around and I said, so there's nothing for me to do, right? And they're like, yeah, there's nothing for you to do. And I said, great, I'm going to watch all of the James Bond movies over here. When there's something for me to do, you just let me know. And they were like, yeah, okay, I guess that's fine. Just do that. And then when I was done with that, I played Minecraft. And when I was done with that, I looked for a new job because I was like, I can't keep doing this. Like, someone's eventually going to come down here and go, hey, none of these people are working. Because it couldn't have, I don't know why the developers were taking 2 weeks. Whatever, fuck it. It's a long time ago. It was 10 years ago that I quit that job.
Is it sad that I kind of hope I get laid off?
Oh, God. All right. Who's ready to explore those coordinates?
I would say you want to land near, but not on those coordinates, actually.
Did you just insult your pilot like he's going to beam directly into the... Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm being a dumb bureaucrat to let him correct me.
Yes. So you get a bonus to your piloting because your stupid bureaucrat is reading from the manual about how you're not supposed to fly directly into the coordinates, and you get you get that +4.
I know I'm unnecessary.
It's like, I know how to fly a fucking ship. Beep. All right. You enter subspace. The experience is similar to before. Sudden rush of weightlessness and feeling like intense gravitational forces. However, the shock when you arrive is not nearly as bad, and the systems on the Nero do not overload or threaten to explode.
Yes, success.
Mr. Coffee is still broken, does not magically fix itself, but you arrive. You are in black space, the space between star systems. That is essentially the part where most human vessels enter cryosleep and travel for years to go through. Stan.
Just as a note, I just want to say I'm blaming Peter before we get started.
Okay. But Peter and anyone currently looking at the sensors, and actually anyone standing in the lounge looking out of the big plexiglass window, would see that in fact you have arrived at a small, high-tech facility in dead space, essentially.
Why do I have Enterprise? You found that repair the ship space dock that 8 people.
I have no idea why you get the flashbacks you get.
I have to watch more space, more sci-fi. There's a small, high-tech, and fully functional space station sitting in front of you, broadcasting a short-array emergency alert, something that wouldn't be read past a few kilometers, which of course means nobody would fucking hear this thing. It also is broadcasting that same numerical code that you've detected earlier, specifically to your flight control.
And is it a warning?
Sorry.
Sorry, I just want to know what the message was, and if it was a warning. Sorry, Tom. Now your turn. Go. Right.
Is it directional or are they sending it everywhere?
Everywhere. Both of them appear to be just bloop, bloop, bloop everywhere. The emergency alert is emergency alert, abandoned station, critical failure, code red, every, bureaucratic word for get the fuck out.
And this is all in, like, contemporary English.
Yes.
Or whatever we speak as.
Let me give you a little more information that you'll find interesting. The station has 4 small spaceships in orbit. They are all human build and are broadcasting signatures. I want Devad to make a computer science roll.
What make and model of ship?
They are the ships are standard, Ford essentially, passenger ships. So much smaller than the Nero, capable of holding maybe 6 individuals in cryosleep, but not a ton of cargo.
I kind of like Sean's statement. The Ford Explorer.
The Ford Explorer 2.0. Love it. Devad, these are fake signatures.
Yeah.
They are broadcasting essentially a fake ID. The type of thing that, oh God, you don't even know why they would do this.
Smuggling, usually.
Smuggler is the only thing that comes to mind. Somebody who definitely wants you to think that they're legit, and they are not.
The problem, this is so far outside of human range. What the fuck's the point?
You estimate it would take one of these spaceships 3 years to fly back to Earth from this point.
That's not that bad.
It's closer than you guys were when you started the game, but it's definitely nowhere that anyone would expect. I mean, this is not between systems. This is like some asshole picked a random point outside of Seoul and said, we're going to build a station here.
Yep.
Are there any corporate markings on the outside of the station?
Yes.
And signs of damage, please.
The station itself has a large corporate logo on every one of the 2 cargo docks. Automated Manufacturing Intelligence, AMD. They're known for making low-scale artificial intelligence robots that do manual labor for manufacturing industries. Mining drones, for example, the ones that you guys have on the Nero, the automated little bots, they're AMD. MTI bought them and reskinned them, but that's what they came from, essentially. They contracted them.
So, they are the ones who made the station, not necessarily who run it.
There is no reason that an AMD facility should be at this location in space.
Right.
It makes no sense. They're far away from resources.
Someone bought all the parts from AMD.
AMD doesn't build cargo bay doors.
Now, here's my stupid question.
So, hold on.
If I remember right,
Go ahead,
we're in the
Ron.
middle of nowhere.
Yes.
These guys work on weak AI.
Yes.
Strong AI is deeply bad.
Yes.
And there's a convenient place run by the people who are probably supposed to make weak AI out in the middle of effing nowhere with a bunch of fake license plated ships.
Yes.
Oh,
So,
we made it.
AI station.
Well, Tom, you had a question.
Does the station have any acceleration? Is it moving?
No.
So, no artificial gravity by spin?
That would actually probably be incorrect then. Yes, it is probably spinning enough to make artificial gravity.
But its stellar position
going
is
anywhere.
stable.
Yes, or at least it's stable to Earth. So it looks like it is moving in order to stay the same position away from Earth that Earth, or from Sol, essentially, so that it would be easy to find.
I'm just thinking, okay, if it had some acceleration and it was going a slow drift across the stars, it's like it just took it 3 years or so to get here.
Yeah. No,
I was saying there's no point for this thing to be out here.
yeah.
Other than, as Ron pointed out, a AI research station. Gladys is here.
There is two other things that you immediately notice, Tom, without any sort of roll. There are power signs coming from the station. It is still operational. And there is one life signature.
I will also send that numerical code directly at the station. The 986 blah blah blah.
Okay. You do not get a response from the station, but you do send the file back at it.
And nothing is pinging in response?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
Automated parking beacons?
There is a in addition to the two cargo holds, there is a airlock that you could potentially hook to. Nothing automated, though.
Okay.
And can we tell what type of life form it is? Human?
It is human.
Okay.
Do we want to try and communicate with it first?
I
Just
think so.
no. Other than you sent the file, but I'm talking about just opening up a regular communication of, "Hello, we received your distress signal. What can we do to help you?"
Yes, literally act like we heard the ship's random distress, the short-range distress beacon. That's funny. I like it. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Well, we received a signal, so at the very, very least, we could say, "Hey, we picked up your signal."
Yes, we picked up your signal.
Okay.
I would
I think
actually,
that's a good idea.
guys, if we're going to send an actual transmission to them, I would say we picked up your distress signal. How can we help? Start with that.
Okay. It's a fairly simple thing. You open up a general channel band to the station. We've received your signal. How can we assist? You wait a few moments, and you do not get any response.
Does the life form suddenly start moving around the station?
You attempt to scan where in the station it is, and the life form is no longer there.
It's moving?
No, it seems to not be alive anymore.
Huh.
Oh, we got there too late.
No. I'm gonna guess shielding.
Or cloaking, yeah.
Something like that.
We have announced we're here, and it went, oh shit.
And hit.
So let's go aboard and talk to Bishop.
What was the AI from Renraku and Shadowrun? The one that took over the arcology? Oh,
Yeah.
shut up, Siri.
Siri's like, it was named Siri.
Alright. But you said that there are docking bays. Can we access them, or are they closed off?
No, there are two docking bays. You could push the Nero up to one of them with your docking bay and attempt to open
I have
them.
a sub-request first.
Sure.
I wish to EAV or otherwise board one of the 4 ships floating around the outside.
Okay.
It'll get me nothing, or it'll get me a really big hooray.
Okay. Which would you prefer to do? Dock at the station or board one of the other vessels?
I vote board one of the little vessels. I'd like
I
a little
agree. Board one of the vessels. That way we can check its logs, see what else we can learn before we stick our dick in the big pod.
Right. Never stick your dick in a gigantic space station without. Okay. Fast forwarding, because we are close to 10. You are able to get close enough to board one of the vessels. You have not detected any life forms inside, therefore you feel like it's okay to open up the hatch, venting most of the vessel into space.
Does it have pressure, atmosphere?
No, you'll eliminate it by opening it up. Well,
If it happens, I don't want to get shotgunned by you.
they have the same kind of docking clamp that the Nero has, only there's a smaller. So you can enter through what is essentially a airlock. The vessel's empty. It looks pristine, well taken care of. There is no sign of violence, danger, misuse, or anything like that.
Looks like standard tech.
It looks like standard tech. It does look like it actually. The only thing that you really would notice is that it appears to be empty. Like nobody's personal effects are in there. There's no cargo in there. Like somebody drove it here, unloaded everything they could, and left it floating in space.
So the cryopods are empty.
Yeah, nobody's asleep in them.
To the logs on the cryopods, have they ever been used?
Yes.
And I'd like working with Peter Landon to work with the ship's computer to get an idea of what's on it, where it jumps to from.
Okay, make a computing roll, Divad.
Bureaucracy, I get more dice. Only 2. I will spend my second luck point of the week.
Okay. Your second luck point is enough that you can crack through the encryption on this. These are, again, heavily encrypted files. However, they're not quite as good as the one that the Nero received. It indicates to you that this vessel, although the signature it's broadcasting is fake, the actual information is that it is an AMD private transport vessel, that it arrived at this location 5 years ago, that it has been in stasis for about 4.5 years, basically in low power mode, and that it belonged to a Dr. Alyssa Ningenia.
Oh, there's a name.
Yeah, really.
I will put her name in the chat here. Doo-doo.
Wow, where'd you get that last name?
I made it up.
Well done.
You said, oh.
Can we generate any sort of background out of that?
Famous, infamous.
That is a great question.
The answer may not exist.
Who is going to look this information up, and what are they going to share?
Can I make an academics check to see if she's known for any research papers or anything else like that?
Sure. Make an academics check.
The one question we didn't get is, where did the ship come from? Earth?
Yes. Previous docking point was Jupiter Station.
So it jumped out of Jupiter Station to here.
Well, it didn't jump. Did it jump or did it just travel?
You have not heard that name ever, Stan.
Okay. Okay. With a
Matthias.
5, I've never heard of her.
You've
but-
never heard of her. She must not have published any papers that you would have read in a medical or other field.
Right. She may be AI.
Yes,
AI type.
quite possibly.
Bureaucracy, have I heard of her being meant as a boardroom problem? You know, so and so is going to cut more profits or doing such and such. You know, heard of her via bureaucracy or by computer science.
Sure. Make a check. Do computer science would actually be your better one, because you're going to ask the computer, who is this person and what is she known for?
Actually, I'd start with a list of. I want to start with a list of AMD employees just to see if she's even listed.
We
as one.
we may not even have access to that.
Yeah. Are my requests going to be about? Yeah.
Well, make a computer science roll for me, Ron, and I'll tell you what you find out.
Well, no, I was wondering how this bounced.
Okay, so this is essentially, you're like, who is this woman? What does she do? You're entering it into the computer. The computer is like, local database insufficient. We'll check with Jupiter Station database. Approximate wait time 30 minutes. This is typical of long-range communication without a relay. So you're like, okay, the computer is going to go fetch data. We'll get it back in 30 minutes. Anyone else want to try anything while that happens?
I'm starting to plot the approach vector to the station.
Tom, I don't think it would be wise to link our cargo bays. I'd just hit a regular airlock and do an invincible. I don't want our systems to touch their systems, just in case there's an infection on the station in their computer systems.
Makes sense.
Yeah. We're not taking any tech off this place.
Well, we might, but it's going to be in a lead ball.
Voluntarily.
No, I'm willing to bet we will take some tech off of it. It's going to look like something like a cross between a Cuisinart and a Borg. And I'm going to go make another drink.
I'm out of beer.
And the board. So,
Well, the only good thing is it's an AMD product, so it's known for overheating.
the AMD's gotten a lot better recently.
All right. Are you guys waiting for the computer to return that information, or are you continuing your exploration?
I do not want to be. I want the information to come here. Then I want this computer to relay it to me.
Okay. Go ahead, Tom.
I'd like to. I don't know if since the life form, the life form signal has gone out. Everyone's basic consensus is that it's hiding. I'm thinking also it could potentially be in medical distress.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna get ready to die.
Okay. The docking procedure without any help from the station takes about 10 minutes. And your sensors indicate that atmospheric regulators are online. So there is no reason specifically to put on an air spacesuit. Do you still want to do that anyway, or is that something you feel like you could forgo?
Spacesuit.
Okay.
Well, do we have enough spacesuits for all 6 of us?
Yes. And Grebe is always walking around with his, unless he's in your new Arboretum.
Fair enough.
Does Grebe wish to come aboard, or does Grebe wish to babysit his plants?
Oh yeah, no, Grebe was in the lounge, like, pressed his helmet up against the thing constantly, like, ooh, what is this?
This doesn't exist.
Yeah, this is not real.
But for all we know, there's like a biological.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
I mean, seriously, they all have COVID. Who the hell knows?
Okay. You all put on your spacesuits while right after docking. So Peter is required to be there for the docking procedure. He's the only one there. It's not automated. You got to make sure that you don't fuck it up. It's not roll worthy, but you do have
One actual quick question before
Yes.
we dock. What is the actual statement that the station is broadcasting? Yes, it's an emergency. What kind of emergency? Did they run out of fish?
No, the emergency signal is red alert, station compromised, evacuate immediately. There is no reason why. It's like somebody hit the button under the desk that said call the police.
So Ron, I think you and I are right. We don't want our ship talking to the station at all, computer-wise.
Okay.
In fact, when that little ship queries, when our little ship queries Jupiter Station, I'm very very sure within 3 years a rock will plow through this location, fired from Jupiter or nearby. Somebody's going to erase this to the ground.
The missiles are on their way.
Yep.
They'll be here in 7 or 8 years. Okay. Fast forwarding. Everyone puts on a spacesuit. Everyone gets on the airlock.
Double check who's got the bad. Double check no one's got the bad radio helmet.
Nobody's radio helmet is broken because Arthur fixed it because it was bothering the hell out of him. You open the airlock doors. All 6 of you. Actually, yeah, Grebe's coming too. He's fucking curious as hell. and you see in front of you a clean, sterile, electronics-level facility with 3 dead bodies on the floor, perforated by lead bullets. One of the electronic fluorescent lights is hanging down at an angle, apparently accidentally shot, and is flickering disturbingly in the hallway.
Oh my God! It's one of those movies.
At this exact moment, as you guys walk out onto this, clearly like some shit happened here not that long ago, because the blood appears to not be dried. Actually, strike that. This is definitely a few days old now. Because you got the emergency signal a while ago, a couple of days ago. So
it took us we're 2 days behind.
Renege that. It's a few days late. You get a message, Divad. The computer says, "I have that information for you." Do you wanted it just to you privately?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna link it to my. I'm gonna open my. So when it talks to me, it's gonna talk to my mic and talk to all them. So I'm the only person who's officially gotten it.
Okay. It includes an image of this woman. So you can't display the image through your radio or anything. You would need like a data pad or something. Would you have brought that with you, or did you leave that back?
I have a laptop. I have a laptop and an employee motivation tool with me.
Okay. You pull open the laptop and show everybody the picture? Or at least yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so...
This is them, and this laptop is being abandoned on the station.
Okay, so you get information back.
I'll fight that far.
So Dr. Alyssa Ningenia is a head researcher for AMD. She is listed as having graduated top of her class in low-level artificial intelligence and manufacturing research. She's been employed by AMD for about 12 years. Last known location, she has an apartment on Earth. Apparently active. That's what it says in the file. She looks like a young, attractive, blonde doctor in the photo that you receive and that you display to your party.
Well, if AMD was operating a secret facility somewhere, I'm sure they can fake the fact that her apartment is active.
Correct. Goes to an office all day, does computer stuff, comes out, goes home. Who cares? And some intern collects a paycheck.
So you are sharing the picture there, Ron?
Yes.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if I was actually truly looping yet or not. Yes.
You're gapping, you guys, because technically only I received it.
Gotcha.
Everyone's curious and leaning over when you say, "Oh, look, there's a attached picture," and it looks like a young PhD, doctorate. She's, in a white lab coat, it kind of like it.
Looks fake.
No, but it definitely looks staged, like it's a company photo. Yeah. It's not like her at the park or anything. It's like, this is,
So, next dumb question. Is she one of the bodies laying in front of you?
No. In fact, the 3 bodies laying in front of you, 2 are male, 1 are female, but none of them are blonde-haired. They don't appear to be.
There goes that easy exit.
Are the bodies like in lab coats? Are they convenience worker overall? What's the
Security troop.
They are all in lab coats.
Do they have any ID on them?
We are going to stop there before I answer Ron's question, because that'll give me time to flesh out some of the details on these corpses.
Norwegian baby name maker is a great thing.
Norwegian baby name maker. Does anyone have any information they want to share prior to us ending the stream now, and then we will schedule our next our next game? I think that's.
I want to know who is the official response to my query. Who
Oh.
sent the response?
The computer did. Basically, you got. It was kind of like a Google search, you know.
Okay, I got to Google. So I made a trip to Google Trap, but I didn't actually poke their headquarters.
Yeah, no. This is like Devad's version of I have some cred in MTI. Let me get like a background check on this person, and you get more than just a Google search, but you get a little bit more like, oh, this is her home address. Apparently, she's supposed to be living on Earth right now. You know.
Lies have been told.
Yeah.
And like that. Got it.
Yeah. You'll need a bit more if you want like her social media profiles or anything. But yeah,
They're already staged anyway.
probably.
So 2 weeks from tonight?
Let's see. The 17th looks like a great day to play for me.
Works for me.
Okay.
The only thing I'd actually add is to bury my trail, I might want to send a corporate email looking to, say, hire her from AMD. It gives a reason for why we queried.
Yeah.
Launch is just a Google search. You're overthinking.
Yeah, actually, I'm agreeing with Stan on this one. It's the type of thing where it's like you're probably not being audited.
Right.
But
My
if
paranoia is showing.
if you made it from Wolf Station, maybe you would want to go ahead and add a little bit of like employability, LinkedIn profile, that type of thing.
Dating profile.
LinkedIn now actually just makes cybernetic implants.
Anymore? It's probably something like Google it.
Well, a long time ago, LinkedIn merged with Roomba, and they now make cybernetic implants.
Oh, that works.
They literally link in.
Actually, now I've got a houseboat who walks around his own vacuum. That is terrible. Worse than the 50s.
Beep boop. Oh, George Jetson was born 4 days ago. 4 days ago, yeah.
Sunday.
Yep. So, somewhere in the world, George Jetson was born June 31st, 2022. And then he impregnates and later marries his wife, Jane Jetson, when she is 17 years old. Okay.
Alright, see you all in 2 weeks, if not sooner.
Ruining your cartoons. I'm sure she's just lying about her age. All right. Bye. See you in 2 weeks, everybody.
Good night.
Later.
Have a good one. Alrighty. That is... Hold on here. Let me fucking fix the screen here so you're not staring at my desktop. Instead, I will have you stare at... we'll do this one. That is the stream for tonight, everybody. I am going to go ahead and log off and take care of the animals and, do all my normal going to bed things. But thank you very much. I did not actually have a photo. I did include some secret information for one of the people at the table. So the photo triggers a memory, or perhaps they knew this person as a different name or something like that. So I guess you could probably guess who it is if you've been paying attention. And certainly... well, honestly, I don't think anybody else at the table picked up on it. I don't think they realized that I was typing to somebody and giving them some secret information. So, but maybe I'll go Google like a fake picture just to throw everybody off the scent. So, anyway, it's just a generic fucking stock photo of female in lab coat. Yeah, there's no photo. Sorry, Darren D. All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly enjoy playing, and it went pretty much exactly where I wanted it to go in the time I wanted it to. Given that I only spent about 15 minutes working on this information, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So, all right. Well, have a good night, everybody. I will see you all next time. Accidentally closed the music. Let's back now. Good night, everybody.